Action!
Action. Well, first of all, Sasha, I have to tell you that I'm very happy for being here, and I loved the record that you bought for me. So thank you very much.
Oh,
So yes, so it's in my collection, and thank you very much. So I feel like very grateful for this. Thank you.
okay, well, my pleasure. So, yes. So, how do you want to be introduced?
I'm just a record collector. My name is Joan-Albert, and that's it, a record collector, and I'm a 50s music fan. So I love music from the 50s. Well, you can see maybe Elvis Presley here or Dion DiMucci there. So I love 50s music, but also actually I like 50s music, but a lot of different types of music also. But above all, so my music is 50s. But I have the number of the beast from Iron Maiden also here. So
You've seen my video.
yes, yes.
Okay, Joan-Albert, right?
Yes.
So, I'm extremely happy to have a meeting with you and to communicate with you. And first of all, why vinyl records?
Well, actually, everything started with cassettes. I have to be honest. You know cassettes, right? So everything started with
Definitely.
these type of
Yes.
things.
Yes. I also have them.
You also have. And then what happened is that so cassettes, they were not the original. So for me, music is part of my life. So every song that I listen to, it's part of my life. So then I wanted to have it like physically, like the original version of the meaning of that song or whatever. So that's why I wanted to start collecting records, vinyls. I mean, and actually, it's not just, it's the history behind the record. So for me, this is the most important thing. It's not just the plastic, because at the end it's plastic. It's plastic, right? So, but it's not the material. It's the history behind, and the day that it was recorded, why it was recorded. So the people behind this, and the label that was like producing that record, and it's a lot of history in every single plastic, and I love it, and that's why I want to collect it. It's part of my life, and well, actually, I don't know how to express it. But at the end,
Okay,
it's part of
yes,
my life.
some young people may oppose you that, okay, what about CDs or I don't know, streaming? You can enjoy the music is, yes, first of all, it's at the top, and it doesn't matter what you are listening to. I'm
Well,
provoking you a little, yes.
no, but the thing is that yes, I understand your question, and I understand them. That for them it's like, okay, let's go practical. So the song is on internet and streaming, so we can listen to this and that's it. But for me, the important thing it's I don't know, the work behind the. So for example, so now look, now I have this record here, and for me, this is something else. I have this song like thousands of times. I can listen to this song on internet, but this record was created in Hong Kong in 1961. So for me, this is the important thing. Hong Kong, 1961, and the group is an American group. It's the Belmonts. The Belmonts is, in my opinion, one of the best doo-wop groups ever. So how come it was created there in Hong Kong? So I like this kind of stuff, and I understand that maybe the young kids that they don't understand this, or I don't know.
I completely agree with you. Yes, definitely. Because yes, for me, a record that is something material, and you can have it in your hands, and it looks like you touch a piece of history.
Yeah,
So
that's the word. Yes.
okay, and so you said that you started with the cassettes. Okay, yes, it also was my childhood when I was when I got into the music, I first started with the cassettes. And do you remember the first record you bought?
Yeah. Actually, well, the first record that I bought, actually, is this. Let's see if you can see it. It's a Spanish group.
Uh-huh.
The name of the group is Los Rebeldes, the Rebels, and the title of this album is Cervezas, Chicas y Rockabilly. That it means beer, women, and rockabilly. So this is the meaning of the record.
Eternal virtues, yes.
Yeah, but these guys actually they changed my life. I listened to this record and then I realized that I love rock and roll music. And even though these guys, they started in the 70s, but this album was from 80s, but in early 80s. But then I realized that this is what I want. This is what I love. And I don't know, it's my first one.
And you are still holding it in your hands. Is it exactly that record that you bought when you were a teenager?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And I have more. Actually, look, here, I think that probably, I don't know if this is the second, maybe the third, but I remember 100% the day that I bought this record, that actually this group, the Belmonts that I mentioned them before, these guys, they changed my life also, because this is another different type of music. So the other guys, they are rockabilly, like Elvis Presley, this kind of stuff in the beginning. And this is another thing. This is more vocal. This is like more harmony. But actually, look, so...
the king, of course.
And when I heard this record for the first time, I was like, oh my God, this is something else. I mean, this music, this rock and roll music, it's, I don't know, and Elvis, of course, is the king. So, in my opinion.
Okay, what about Johnny Cash?
Oh, Johnny Cash. I have records from Sun Records because they started in this label. Actually, they started this Sun Records label. This record is not Johnny Cash, but I do have Johnny Cash. Probably here I will find one. But here it's. But I have records from him. Lucy Chew, Carl Perkins. Look, Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
So I walk the line. Johnny
It's
Cash.
original.
Cash, yeah, it's the original one from the 50s. So actually, almost all my collection, they are originals. I love this thing. And no, Johnny Cash is something else also. It's amazing. But it's more country. It's not that rockabilly. It's more country. But they have a lot of country music also. So Hank Williams, it's one of the idols of all the rockers because Hank Williams started everything.
Yeah.
With songs like Move It On Over, for example. Or, well, it's but yes, definitely.
I agree. Yes, I see. So, and you said most of your records are originals.
Yeah.
How do you get them? Is it a principal moment for you to have original records? Nowadays, a lot of people are not so meticulous in those questions. So for them, it's just, nowadays you can buy a lot of modern reissues.
Yes.
Why originals?
No, to be honest, my first records, they were like produced in the 80s. At the end of the 70s, my first records, those that I show you. But then when I became older, then I said, no, I want to have the originals. And then, well, I started to pay money for them because some of them, they are expensive. But I wanted to have the originals because of what I said in the beginning, that it is part of history and I want to have them. And still I have records, above all, Elvis Presley records from the 1954. So That's Right Mama, for example, that everything started with this. And I don't have this record. And I would love to have it.
You mean That's All Right Mama, a single?
Yeah. I don't have the original. I have, well, look, here I have a reissue. but this is a reissue but it's not the original. So there, of course, I have the song, but and I want to have the original one. Let's see.
It takes money and time.
Yes, yes, a lot of money. If you want to have a good copy of Elvis Presley, original one, it's a lot of money. And the problem is that in the world of records, there are a lot of fake copies, a lot. So you have to be careful with this, and sometimes even you need to know like the plastic. The plastic, it's different. When it's original, you can see that it's from the 50s or it's even from the 70s. You can see the difference just touching. And sometimes just checking the, how do you say this? When it's written, you understand if it's an original or not.
Or sometimes you can understand if it's a copy, like a xerocopy. Sometimes the quality is very poor of fake records.
So here I have, look, so actually this one for me, it's easy to see that, look, you will see. No, these are originals, this is original, but this is not. So actually it looks, no, the thing is that with this camera, maybe it's difficult to see, but this is a Sun Records, Sun record. It's not an original. It's a reproduction. But then here we have an original. But the thing is that it's not the same.
Even the color.
Yeah. But the thing is that you need to know these things. You need to know the color. You need to know everything in order to understand which one is the original, it's not, and it's. But anyway, I love it.
Okay.
It's true, and actually. Some of us that we are collectors, we have books like this, where we have like, in this case, this book is for collectors of doo-wop music from the 50s, early 50s and early 60s.
Doo-wop.
And here we have like the prices of all the records. So every time that I buy a record, a doo-wop record, first I check it here.
So and it's like the Bible.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And you just go page by page and you try to obtain the records.
Yeah. And then we check, because the thing is that this is the last edition of this book, that it's the Crater, Jeff Crater, that is a record collector from the 50s and 60s, a very famous one. And this guy made this book. This is the last copy, and it's from 2003, if I'm not mistaken. So it has more than 20 years. So it's not updated at all. But nevertheless, the collectors, we use it as to have an idea. Because, for example, if here they say that the record, it's worth, that you have to pay for the record $125. So now we know that nowadays maybe you have to pay $200. But at least we have
you can just double the price. Yeah. That is very,
for us,
this
is very important.
That is very sophisticated way, as for me. So you have a structure and you follow it. That's good.
But the problem is that this book is just for doo-wop music. So for example, for rockabilly or rock and roll or country music, we have all the books. But I don't have it. So we have Goldmine editions. Goldmine was a magazine, and we have the Goldmine book. They're okay, but I don't have them, because my collection, it's, well, from everything that I have, it's maybe 60% probably it's vocal music, doo-wop music, and the 40%.
60? You mean 60%?
Yeah, majority are vocal groups. But I have a lot of different things from the 50s also, because I also have like jive music, like with saxophones, trumpets, and I love this type of music also. But at the end, that's why in the beginning I said I'm a 50s record collector.
That's all.
Yeah.
And as I can see, you collect any styles of records from that period, from that decade.
No, very good question, because, for example, in the 50s we had jazz, and I'm not I'm not very fond into jazz. And I have records. I have, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, no more. But jazz, it's okay in the 50s, but it's not the, I'm not a fan. So I prefer like something that it's more developed than jazz, that is what we call like jive music, jumping jive, that it's, well, it's kind of different. Actually, I have records here from jumping jive because I love it. But it's, for example, these guys. But these guys, they are from nowadays.
Big Bad
Voodoo Daddy.
Voodoo Daddy. Okay.
Yeah. This is swing music from the, I mean, from the early 90s. This, yes, late 90s. And this song is like, and these records, they are like 50 style, though this group is from the late 90s, but it's something that I love it.
Why do you follow just that period?
No, actually, what happened maybe is attached to my childhood or when I was a teenager that I started to be very happy listening to 50s music, and then maybe my mind is connecting happiness with 50s, and that's why I wanted to I wanted to go deeper into the 50s music. Maybe is this, I don't know, but I have to say also that I have other types of music that they are similar to 50s, but like this one that George Thorogood.
Thorogood, yes.
That I love this. But this is a little bit. It's later. It's from the 70s. It has the roots of rock and roll. It has the roots of blues. But it's absolutely amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. But it's also connected to 50s for me. So, but maybe it's this connection with a moment that I was extremely happy, like I don't know, discovering music and all of this. Probably. But to be honest, I don't have an answer to this question. I like it to dress like in the 50s, and at that time in Barcelona, because I was born in Barcelona and it's where I'm now. So in the 80s, it was like impossible, almost impossible to find rockabilly clothes. So now, for example, I'm wearing this shirt. This shirt, I bought it in Las Vegas, but you can buy it online, and that's it. But at that time, it was impossible. And then all of us, me and my friends, all of us, we wanted to buy this kind of clothes. And I remember that I bought. I don't know if you have seen like Elvis Presley, like wearing like a white belt.
Yep.
It's like, so it was super difficult to find. And I remember that I bought it in a store here in Barcelona, but it was a lady's belt, and I didn't care. I wanted to have that belt because it was white, and it was the one that Elvis Presley was like wearing, and I bought it. And to be honest, I still have it here. But I was not ready to show you, but I have it here.
So it's a great story, you know. Yes, you are crazy in a good way.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. No, it's part of my life, and it makes me happy. So and that's why it's. I started when I was this 12, 13 years old, and now I'm 48, and I'm still, and maybe I have more passion now. I don't know. Because now I feel proud of having the collection that I have, that at the end, nobody cares about the collection. So probably just me. Just me, I'm super happy to have these records, and I have, well, a lot of records to show you. Look, I have this acetate, you know, like that. This is before the original copy, so I have these kind of things, and for me, it makes me happy. And I don't know. The other day, I was talking here with a friend of mine that he's also a collector, and the guy was saying, Joan-Albert, we are buying pieces of plastic. And I remember that I was like, wait a minute, it's a little bit more. And the guy said to me, Joan-Albert, I understand you, but at the end, it's a piece of plastic. And I said, no, but it's the history behind. And this is what makes us happy. And the guy said, yes, you're right. But maybe just you and me, we understand this. This is what the guy told me. And maybe he's right.
Yes, so that's. I can just agree With you, yes, 100%, and I completely understand what you're talking about, yes, and even the similarities. I also was born in 1975.
Oh, we have the same age.
Definitely, yes. And I've been to Barcelona a few times, and I remember I was going through some vinyl shops and digging, and I have some records I bought there.
Oh, here in Barcelona.
Of course, yes.
Cool.
It was 10 years ago, maybe more. I remember there was a store called Revolver.
Revolver, of course. Oh my God. Yes, you know what you're talking. Revolver probably it's one of the oldest record stores in Barcelona, and they have a lot of good stuff. A lot. So it's a place for collectors. Definitely. Definitely.
You see, I don't remember
Oh,
other
look.
titles, other names. Oh, yes. And I have that sticker on some records, yes.
Oh, also. Wow.
You see?
Oh no, you know what you're talking about. Yes, definitely.
Okay, so you see, we have a lot of things in common. So that's it. And also, maybe you are even crazier than I am. That's good.
Well, let's see. Let's see.
How big is your collection, if it's not a secret?
How big? I mean,
How
the number
many
of
records are there?
uh, more than 2,000 and less than 10,000.
Do you have a
I never were.
calculated
No, more or less than 3,000 records. Yeah,
3,000?
yeah.
Okay, that's a big number. I'm
Well,
impressed.
it's the thing is that the majority of the records they are original, so that's why. So it costs money, it costs and time also to find them all. Even though nowadays we have like good dealers or good people that we can, because years ago, I mean, I remember in the 90s, it was extremely difficult. I remember that I was sending letters, handwriting letters to guys from New York and asking them for records. And actually, I have it here. I still have here the catalogs where I was like checking the records that I wanted, and then I was sending them letters. And with a friend of mine here, with a friend of mine that is Juan Ibanez, that now he sings he has his own group that is the Velvet Candles, very famous in Europe and in Barcelona, in Europe in general. So he was buying the records. He was doing all the how do you say this? So he was managing all this, and then we were receiving these records at home. So this is one of the catalogs that I had. This is from the early 90s.
Uh-huh.
And here you have like the records that they had.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I know that it's difficult to see, but I was buying records from this book. So, but this book, but I have more. So and actually, I keep them because for me it's look, yes, like it was very cool. And it's at that time we were buying records, sending dollars. So because at that time
Via mail. In
yes, by
envelopes.
mail, yes, yes. Because here we had pesetas, we didn't have euros yet. So I remember to go with him to a bank and to like withdraw dollars and to say, no, we need dollars. And then we put these dollars into an envelope and we were sending this to New York concretely. And well, it's part of the memories of all of this, but we were crazy. And thankfully, years later, I had the luck to meet these guys that they were selling me the records because
The
I went
dealer.
to New York. Yeah, and I met them, and it was like the guys. They were like, "How come a guy with your age loves music from the 50s?" Because these guys they were 30 years older than me. It was very interesting that I had records that these guys they didn't have. So it was like, they were like, how come? A guy from Barcelona that it's very far away from New York, how come do you have these records? And at that time, and I'm talking about, yeah, 91 maybe, 92. So a long time ago.
Great. And now I think the place of your hunting is the US.
Yeah, yeah.
What about records from other countries?
No, actually, this is, so for me, this is very important because, for example, I have here, I have a record that I bought recently. Recently, it's maybe 2 years ago.
Oh,
Yes.
I know that, yes.
And for me, I like to have this type of copies. So copies made in the Soviet Union or in Russia or other countries. So for me, this is something super valuable. And actually, well, since I know people from Moscow, from Russia, I'm interested in this type of records. And even I know a group from Russia that I love it, that they play rockabilly, that they are called Mr. Twister. I love them. I mean, they are something else. I mean, and actually, here in Spain, in Barcelona, I think that people, they don't know them. And sometimes when people comes home and I say, hey guys, listen to these Russian rockabilly guys, and people, they are like, what? And these guys, they are from Russia? Yes, they are. And they are very good. And we have, not just in Russia, now in the east of Europe, we have like more rock and roll groups. Yesterday here, before the party, I was with a friend of mine here listening to music, and the guy was showing me groups from Latvia, from Estonia, from that they play rock and roll from the 50s, and they are amazing. So amazing. I mean, it's like, so, and yes, I'm very interested in this type of copies. And actually, I'm looking for one record that it's, the group is called Zafiros. Zafiros is a Cuban group.
Torpedoes.
Yes, Zafiros. It's a Cuban group that they recorded one record in the Soviet Union times. I bought this record. So even though I have the copies from Cuba, because this group, they started in late 50s, and I have almost all his discography. I have almost everything. So I'm interested in these things, and to buy records from other countries. But the record that I show you, that from the Belmonts, that it's a record from Hong Kong. So Hong Kong, 1961, a record created in Hong Kong. Yes, that is this one. The song is super famous. It's Tell Me Why. It's one of the most famous songs in doo-wop history. But this record is special, not just because it was made in Hong Kong, but because in the B-side, there is a song that these guys, they never published in other type of records. It just published in this copy. So it's like, well, I like these things.
I see. Okay, so I see that you are much into the style of music. Yes, it's like the doo-wop and the rockabilly and the music of 50s.
Yeah.
What about later periods?
Well,
When you see, I don't know, the Beatles, and you said, no, that's not my
Beatles,
type.
for example, so for the rockers society, Beatles, sometimes they are not very, very welcome. But anyway, Beatles, they changed the music also. I mean, they made a revolution, and nobody can deny this. I mean, one thing is if you like it or not, but what they did, it's something else. And actually, sometimes in my classes, because I'm also a professor, not a music professor, but in my classes, sometimes I explain what happened with Twist and Shout. So the Twist and Shout song from the Beatles, it's not his own song.
Yeah.
So we have to check this song. It was recorded for the first time in Atlantic Records, but a group that they were called the Top Notes. And the Top Notes, it's in 1961, if I'm not mistaken. And the Top Notes was a group that nobody knew them. I mean, it was like a kind of local group. And that song at that time, it was not that famous. But then we had a group that they were called the Isley Brothers. And the Isley Brothers, they made the song absolutely amazing. So the Twist and Shout song, the one that everybody knows about, it's the one that was created by the Isley Brothers. And then the Beatles, they made a copy of the Isley Brothers one. But if you check the original song, it's completely different. The Top Notes one, it's a good song, but it's not the best. But anyway, I like this kind of things. So the Beatles, they did things good. And it's very important to remember that the Beatles, they were in love with Gene Vincent, Eddie Cochran, Elvis Presley, and they started like playing rockabilly songs. So, and after this, other groups, well, I like Queen from 70s and 80s, and I think that Bohemian Rhapsody, it's a masterpiece. And actually, I explained the meaning of the song in my classes. So, because the meaning of the song, it's absolutely amazing. Why the song is called Bohemian Rhapsody? Because a lot of people, they don't know why Bohemian. So what's the meaning of this? So I explained this in some of my classes. And after this, other groups, well, I like punk music. So Sex Pistols,
Clash.
I have the records from Sex Pistols, even Sid Vicious by himself, and what else? Well, and heavy metal, of course. So I have the Number of the Beast, the copy from.
I remember.
I have it, it's here. and yes, and I have copies from Halloween also. Do you know this group Halloween? So
Of course, yeah.
80s. So Halloween, it's
a German group.
Yeah, it's from Germany, and now I'm thinking about the Scorpions also, because I have Scorpions records. In the 90s, I think that I don't have any group that I like. No. 70s, 80s. It's also important that for me, and because I was born in the 70s, so here in Barcelona, the 80s, it was a special time of changes, because you know that we had a dictatorship here, and then in the 80s, so we started to, I don't know, to live again. I don't know. So we had a lot of alternative groups, and we had a lot of punk groups, ska groups, you know, music, ska, like Madness, or, well, Jamaican, and we had a lot of them. I remember Cortatu, for example, groups from the 80s that I have also all the records, because it's part of my life. It's part of my childhood. But above all, what we like from these groups, or what I like from these groups, are the lyrics, because they are rebels 100%. They are like against the society, or the society at that time, they wanted to change things. And this is something that I love from music. And maybe actually the punks, they say that the first punk was Eddie Cochran. And Eddie Cochran is one of the best rockers ever. The first punk, even though the guy was from the 50s. And then we have other guys that, for me, it's particularly interesting to show you this, because this record, it has a lot of importance for me. But then we had this guy, Crazy Cavan.
Crazy Cavan?
Yeah, Cavan, Crazy Cavan, and the Rhythm Rockers. So yeah, this guy, it's a rockabilly hero. So in Europe, the rockers, they love him. But some rockers, they say, first Elvis, and then Cavan, and then this guy. So imagine the importance of this guy. But anyway, even I don't agree with this, but this guy is important, because we need to understand that this guy was born in the 40s, so he was playing rock and roll in the 60s, when nobody wants to listen to rock and roll. And this guy said, I don't care what you think, if you want to listen to the Beatles, for example, or whatever. So what we want to do is rockabilly music. And for us, and people that would like rock and roll, so this guy, Crazy Cavan, it's one of the rebels, the real rebels.
He's from America.
No, he's from Wales. He's
Oh,
from United Kingdom. Yeah, he died
okay.
recently. Recently, it's 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And for the rocker community, it was like something
Icon.
horrible. Yeah. Well, so I can say that I was lucky to saw him on stage, and for us, it's an important guy. I want to recognize it.
Okay. Do you have any signed records with a
Yeah.
autograph?
Yes, I have signed records. For example, this one and this one, it's, well, actually the group is High Noon,
Uh-huh.
and actually like people they call me Johnny because my name is Joan-Albert, and some people they call me Johnny. That's why here it's
Mm-hmm.
signed like Johnny. And this group is a rockabilly group that from the 90s. This guy. And but I remember like it was yesterday, like to go to his concert, to their concert that it was here in Barcelona, and they signed me this record, and I was probably 17 years old or 16, and I still have it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you think of modern music?
Uh,
I don't want to disappoint you or upset you, yes, but you know, in general, I see you're hardcore fans of 50s, and it's good, yes, but
Yeah.
also, you know, maybe there is something that also you can be fond of.
First of all, nowadays,
It's okay, you know, it's
well, to be
okay if
honest,
you.
but the thing is that I don't know any group. So, because that, I mean, look, the first name that came to my mind is Shakira.
No,
And
well,
Shakira,
because she was married to Barcelona
yes,
football
to
player.
Piqué. And that's what, because I'm a Football Club Barcelona fan, and that's why, and so that's why I connected. But to be honest, I don't know people. So yes, if I think probably I will, but there is no music that
Touches
it
you.
makes me think like I don't know that it nowadays music they don't make. I mean, I don't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
It's more plastic than plastic record, you know?
yes, yes, definitely. But look, I have to tell you something because from the 80s, I also know, and to be honest, I bought the record like well 1 week ago. That it's a Russian group that the name is Cheese, Cheese,
Kish. Ah,
yeah,
okay.
and the song is Phantom. I want to have this song, Phantom. For me, it's a top song. That when
Mm-hmm.
I lived in New York, I had a roommate that he was from Russia, and the guy he introduced me to Russian songs and to Russian music, and it was like pretty interesting. So, but the guy showed me a lot of different groups from there, and even I have records here that I don't understand anything what they are saying. Look, the guy gave me this.
Oh. Mm.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I have the cassette here, but I don't understand anything. And I have also this that I don't know if you can see.
Okay. Yes, I see. Moomin Troll. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. So for me, it's kind of cool to know these things, and some of these songs, for example, this Phantom song.
Unusual. So you have a huge horizon of tastes.
No, I had the luck to, well, to travel and to meet people, and I learned a lot from them. And
Mm-hmm.
from this guy, a lot to learn from this. And then when I was living in the United States, I was lucky to meet a lot of people from the music that I like, and they showed me a lot of things. And also in Barcelona, we were just a few record collectors. I'm talking about early 90s. And nowadays we are still friends. So it was the guys that I was yesterday partying with them. And these guys nowadays they became record collectors, music producers. They have their own groups, everything in 50s music. So, for example, I will show you this. I have like this record from the Velvet Candles. The Velvet Candles probably is the best doo-wop group in Europe, probably. And these guys, they are from Barcelona, and they are my friends. So I'm super lucky, you know, like, and
was the story of a love. That was the story of a...
So in the 90s, the guy produced these records. So this record is from Sweetbeat, that is the name of, and the guy produced this. So I don't know what happened here in the 80s or in the early 90s that some of us, because I cannot say that I'm one of them, but no, so some of them, they were like extremely crazy about music, and they did amazing things to produce records, to create your own group, and to be good, because you can create whatever you want. But
it's a very good point, because yeah, really I hear a lot of familiar things from you, and also I have a lot of friends of my age, of our age, and they are still into music. They're still much into music. Yes, they have their own groups, you know, they collect records. Yes, and we still communicate, and you know, it looks like we have the same, you know, background.
yeah.
And on that background, we are based.
Yes, and yes, it's true. Something happened in 1975. In the 70s, something happened, and that's why I don't know. We love this, and I don't know if in Moscow, if in Russia you had this, but here we had what we call in Spanish we call it fanzines. But fanzines, they were like kind of magazines, like not newspapers.
Yeah, magazines. Yeah,
but we were like taking pictures of records. I think I have it somewhere, and so here I have this. Look, this is from the 90s. We have, and these are like magazines that we were like taking pictures from records that they were super difficult to find. So it was made by these people that actually, I mean, it's amazing what they did, because we learned music thanks to them. And of course, here in Spain, we have the Elvis Club. And the Elvis Club is doing this magazine for, I don't know, 30 years. And it helped us a lot to know about music and to know the records. I don't know, we like it a lot, these type of things. And even nowadays, I'm still collecting this. Look, even here, I can show you this magazine with the guy who did this cover. So the guy, you can see that he's very talented, like making drawings and all of this. I don't know, we have, so for us, this kind of stuff, it's super cool.
Yeah, it was also the same in Russia at that time, and there were a lot of, you know, like handmade magazines.
Yes, this is the word. Yes, handmade, this is underground, 100%.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you had one, it's because someone was giving it to you. I mean, you were not going to a store and buying this. So it was in the streets. We were buying these things in the streets with friends. And it's, I don't know if nowadays the young guys, they are doing this. Maybe they have other ways of doing this, but I remember this as a very good memories.
And you have a good vinyl community in Barcelona. A big. Do you have any traditions? I don't know, to meet somewhere.
Yeah. I have to be honest. Yes. Because here every year in Barcelona city, every year at least we have 2 record collector exhibitions, at least. It's not bad. It's not bad. And all of us, we go there, and all of us, we know each other. Even though we are not collecting the same music, but we are the same guys that we're going to these exhibitions. But they are like,
Do you go to those exhibitions just, I don't know, to have fun, to communicate, or anyway, the main purpose is to dig?
It's a ritual. So I love to go there and to dig into the records. And in the moment that you find a record that it's interesting for you, then it's like, you have this, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, yes, I want this. And then you have to check that the edition that you have in your hands is the right one. If not, you have to check the plastic, the vinyl. And this moment, it's worthless. I mean, it's amazing. It's priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, also, you remind me of a question. If you see, you know, the same record that you like, I don't know, one of the favorite, but you have, I don't know, one or maybe two already have. Would you have a look at it if you see a new one?
Well, definitely, definitely. And above all, I will check it. And I'm very, I feel bad to tell you this, but I will check if my copy is better than the one that I'm checking. And I will say, it's okay, my copy is better. That's it. But yes,
I don't need it. I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need it. My copy is best. And when you see that copy is better than yours, then of course you pay whatever it takes in order to get that record. But yes, I mean to go to buy records or to go to these exhibitions, it's a ritual. It's just to see the atmosphere, people. You know that you are in a place where everybody, you share the same passion. It doesn't matter the music at the end. It is like the passion. So maybe I like rock and roll, another one will like thrash metal, whatever. All of us, we are connected.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, you know, to be connected.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because we are not a lot. I think, I don't know. At least it's true that my close group of friends, most of them, they are collectors, but it's because I know them since 90s or 80s and because they are rockers like I am. But for example, in my job, when I talk to people and some of them, they realize that I like this music because sometimes it's obvious because they see a picture in my phone of Elvis or whatever. And then I realized that they don't share this. That they say like, how come? Are you a record collector? So for people, and these people, they have my age or our age or older, and they don't understand. But my close group is, yes, all of us, we are, and to be honest, I'm not the biggest collector. So I have friends that, well, it's another level. For me, it's another level.
Also then, what are your plans for collection? For example, are you going to expand it, or you have particular, you know, options to buy, to find? Is there a record of your dream now?
Well, yes.
Or maybe first 100 of your dream. So
Yes. You understand me. You understand me. Yes. No, yes. I have a lot of records in my mind, but nowadays, recently, and this is not a good. These are not good news at all. A producer from 50s music, 60s music, he died 3 years ago, and this producer now he's selling, not him, I mean the wife and other people that are connected to him. They are selling his collection, and it's outstanding. This is something absolutely crazy. So here I have one record from him, and this record, it's an acetate.
acetate.
Is it called like this? So these records, they are not. So this is like the copy to produce the originals. So, and the group, they are the Monterreys, and this is very rare. I mean, it's very rare. So this guy, he's selling all his collection, or they're selling all his collection, and of course me and other collectors we are like crazy checking in a special place, in a special web page. We are checking the new records that they're selling, and sometimes the prices are absolutely crazy. So these records, at least, they are at least $200. But some people, they can pay, well, crazy stuff, thousands or whatever. I mean, but yes, I'm into this. So in my collection, I want some of these records. So let's see if I win the next auctions or not. And in my mind, I have the idea to have like all the records from Elvis Presley in the 50s recorded in Sun Records. I want them all.
You mean LPs and singles?
No, single, the 45. So for us, it's more important the 45 than an LP. So it's like we are crazy about the small ones, the 45, because actually in the 50s, so first they were launching the 45s, and then if the guy had 5 hits, then they created the LP. So for collectors of the 50s, for us it's more important to have the 45s than the LP. Later on it changed and it's different. But that's why in my collection I have more 45s than LPs, because it's so for us it's the obsession.
I see. And if you had a chance, to demonstrate 5 records to show yourself, I don't know, to show what they mean to you.
Yes, I can do this, but it's difficult for me to just
to choose 5.
Yeah, no, but I will show you just a little bit.
Oh.
Look, for example, I have one record that for me it's extremely important. That is this one. That it's from a group called the Mystics, and the song is "Darling, I Know Now." It's a doo-wop song. So for me, this song is one of the best doo-wop songs ever. And the moment that I bought this record, well, it was one of the best of my life to have this record.
Okay.
Then, important records. Well, actually, look, this one, that it's from Los Rebeldes. Wait a second.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah,
Mescalina.
Mescalina is a type of drug. And but this song changed my life. When I heard this song when I was 14 years old, and this type of rock and roll music changed my life. And then I started to be like more curious about rock and roll music. So that's why this one is a very important one. And then I have one of the best.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Lewis, yes. So from Sun Records. So I have the record from Sun Records, and this is one of my favorites. And Jerry Lee Lewis changed my life 100%. And I was lucky to saw him live in Las Vegas. So not long ago. He died recently, but it was in 2018. But for me, it was a very important moment. And then I also have another record that also changed my life. That is this one, also from Sun Records. And it's Blue Sweat Shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Sweat Shoes from Carl Perkins. So, and actually, it's like the side A is Blue Sweat Shoes, but the B side is Honey Don't. Then, to be honest, I like it more than Blue Sweat Shoes. Even though for all the rockers, Blue Sweat Shoes is one of the most iconic songs or whatever. So, but and then look, there is a record that it also I like it a lot, and it's this one.
The Belmonts.
The Belmonts, Cigars, Acapelli, and Candy. That here is just an a cappella record. But here they play songs like that probably people they will know, like the Do Run Run, That's My Desire, and My Sweet Lord from George Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's absolutely amazing. If you like a cappella, probably it's one of the best records. Eddie Cochran.
Uh-huh.
Eddie
Mm-hmm.
Cochran, one of the best rockers ever. So then we have Gene Vincent.
Uh-huh.
So this is like classics for.
Is it
all the
American
rockers.
release?
No, these ones, no, from England.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, from the Netherlands.
Uh-huh.
From the Netherlands, yeah. And then, well, of course, the sound sessions from Elvis Presley.
No, of
that
course,
changed
yes.
absolutely everything.
Elvis.
For the first time that I listened to Elvis, above all, the rockabilly style, it was something else. And I also have to mention these guys, Stray Cats. That Stray Cats, they are from the United States,
Yeah.
and in the 90s, they were quite popular. Well, actually, I like them a lot. I have all their collection, and above all, Brian Setzer, it's something else. But then we have other records. This one is an original one from the United States.
Uh-huh.
Dion.
Dion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is one of the classics.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have like nowadays, yes, I think that now and of course this one,
Rockabilly Rebel. Mm-hmm.
Rockabilly Rebel from
Matchbox.
So yeah, everybody, I mean, all of us, when we started like listening to rock and roll music, Matchbox was one of the most important groups. I remember that I saw this group in concert in a small town close to Barcelona, in Cubelles, and I was 14 years old, and it was my first concert, and to see these guys, it was like something else. It was absolutely, well, so important. So more or less, okay, yeah, they changed my life. Look, this one from Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Joel, the longest time. It's a record that I like it because Billy Joel is he recorded this song from his memories from United States, and that's why this song is a doo-wop song, because the guy said, when I was a young guy, this is what people they were like singing in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I made this song. It's also an important one, and I can show you a lot of things, but more or less these are the more important ones. I would be here like I don't know, hours and hours.
Yeah.
Because all of them they have a history. Even look, this one. That it's Lucas y los Patosos. It's a group from Spain.
Spain.
And these guys, they are a rockabilly group from Spain, but I like it a lot. This song, it reminds me of when I was a teenager, and I don't know, have these things, and of course, well, the record that I showed you before from Los Rebeldes.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys.
Thank you, Joan-Albert. It was a real pleasure to talk to you. Really, and I like that you are, really, you still enjoy, going through the collection, going through the memories, yes, and I even I noticed that when you were showing me records, my hands were shaking.
No, it's it's a passion, and I don't know. So now, for example, now I'm checking another record that I want to show you. Just 1 second, but it's like because now you told me if people from nowadays, if I like them or not. Actually, I just want to show you one record from one group that they are from United States. Do you know Amy Winehouse?
Sure.
So, you know that she died, and
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
this group, let's see, this group.
What is
they are called Twin Temple, and these guys they are singing doo-wop music with the voice of Winehouse, Amy Winehouse. So it's pretty similar, But this group, they are like from nowadays, so it's a new group, but it's pretty interesting. It's something different, but the thing is that they are a little bit satanic, so it's a little bit weird, but anyway, it's like a curiosity. It's interesting.
Okay.
Do you want to listen to it?
Sure.
This record is signed by the guys. So you can see. But this is a curiosity. It's like so look, the record, it's kind of different. Yes.
It's a modern one.
Yeah. So no, this record, it's from 2022. It's a new one. Let's see. But you will see that the style is 50s style. Or 60s, early 60s.
Yeah. Brilliant. There.
60s style.
Yeah,
But
the
if you
vibes.
listen to the lyrics, they are talking about Satan, and it's like kind of how come? Because I mean, the groups that they are talking about Satan, they used to be like heavy metal groups, not this type of groups. So it's just a curiosity.
Okay, good. So, thank you very much. I'm out of questions, yes, but it's a huge pleasure, big pleasure, great pleasure for me to communicate. Yes, to have that conversation. Thank you. Yes, and if you don't mind, probably later one day we can find a topic to discuss.
No, definitely. We can talk about
Music from Spain.
No, music from Spain, but heavy metal. I have a lot of things. You'll see, because I think that you like.
I like it. A great one. Yes.
Of course. And look.
Halloween.
Yes. So I have and also.
Man of War.
No, I have a lot of things. So we can talk about this punk music, ska music.
Okay.
I can explain you a lot of things because I have even rarities, records that, I don't know, that the record label was just created just for one day. I have, for example, the first record of Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, the first time that he's playing in a studio, is he's recording a song for the Duquesnes. So, and I have this record, for example. I have a lot of particularities that for example, Dio, you know Dio, the heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
So Dio started playing doo-wop. And just a few people know this.
Yeah.
So the guy has records like singing doo-wop music, like harmony. And Dio harmony is like, what? So, and also, for example, Art and Garfunkel. So these guys, I have the early records of them because I know that they were very famous in the 60s and 70s. But what they did in the 50s, nobody
Yes. Tom and Jerry. They were a duo called Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry, yes. So I have the records from Tom and Jerry and, well, so a lot of things, so we can talk. And I love this topic. And to be honest, it's the first time that someone is asking me about this, so that's why I feel like a kid talking about these things.
I see. Yeah, I like talking, and to communicate, and of course, it's better to find, similarities between people than to divide them, to divide us. So it's. I think it is more sensible, that reasonable.
Definitely.
So, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No.
Yes, I hope to see you the next time.
Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure.
Bye.